Hi everyone, it's Lisa Brown with InkandInspirations.com and welcome to the fourth in a series of 2020 Halloween projects. And for today's project, we are using a fun combination of products from Stampin' Up. And so let me show you what we're using. I have Ghoulish Goodies and we're using the sentiment here and then this little spider stamp. And then I have Gnome for the holidays, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to switch this little guy into making him a little Halloween character. And then I am using these two layers of the Hippo and Friends dies. But what I'd like to tell you is that you can use any two layering dies that you have. I had several I could choose from. I liked this shape. So just experiment with the shapes as long as your little character fits inside. Okay, and then I'm also using the Cobwebs 3D embossing folder. And I've done all the die cutting and embossing ahead of time to save a little bit of time. So let's get started. I'm using a piece of Magic is the Night Designer Series paper cut at 6 by 12. So it's 1/2 sheet. And I'm going to get in the Simply Scored scoring tool. And we're going to put the 12-inch side up at the top and score at 1 1/2, 5 1/2, 7, and 11. Then we're going to turn it for what will be the box bottom. So I'm going to call this the bottom and score at 1 1/2. Okay, let's get that out of the way. And then we can burnish with our bone folder. So I'm just going to burnish on all these score lines. And this makes a nice size little treat bag and can fit a little gift in there or several little treats. And you can also use this if you don't make little treat bags for Halloween. You can use it for any special occasion. It's a great little bag. Okay, so now we're going to get our paper snips. And over here you see this score line is the most narrow. Okay, this is a wider tab here. So we're going to cut off this rectangle at the bottom. And then I'm going to do a little snipping up on these score lines to that intersecting score. And those will form the bottom tabs that we're going to put together. Then I'm just going to make it, cut off a little slice of pizza off of these big tabs to just make it a neat look for finish, okay? You don't have to do that. I like to do it sometimes, so I do it on this particular bag. So now we have this narrow tab here. So on the right side of that tab, we are going to take that and put some Stampin' Seal. You could use tear and tape or Stampin' Seal Plus. In fact, let me use the Plus just so it'll hold together really well. This is a little bit stronger adhesive than the Stampin' Seal, so I'm going to use that. Okay, so now, get myself straight here, fold this over and give it a good crease. All right, now for this one, you're going to fold in the two side tabs. Then here's the seam, so we're going to call this the back tab and fold that in, and then we would put adhesive there. But I want to be able to store this or send it off, so I am going to leave that not with adhesive on it, okay? Because look, I can finish out the bag and just store it flat like this, much easier, okay? So let's just get it going like it's going to look if it were finished. And so there's that, and we're going to start working on embellishing the front. So I have a piece of basic black, and I cut that big enough for that largest die that I showed you from the Hippo and Friends. This one right here, okay? And then I used a piece of smoky slate for the next layer up. But what I did first is run it through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine to emboss it with that Cobwebs 3D embossing folder, okay? just for a little added fun. Okay, so now this is going to layer over top of that. So let me get that straight there. I'm trying to get my spider web strategically placed. And so we'll do that. And then center that up just like that. And then ahead of time, I stamped this little stamp here from the Ghoulish Goody set. And it's a spider coming down from the web. And I just fussy cut it out. Stamped it in Memento black ink and fussy cut it out. So I put it right there to save it. And I'm just going to adhere it right here on my embossed piece for a little bit of fun. Okay. And then I have a 1 by 1 3/4 piece of smoky slate, and I'm going to use this for the sentiment. And it says the most spectacular time of year. So I'm going to use Memento black ink again, and just, this is a little crooked. There we go. I'm going to stamp this right in the center. Okay. Then I'm going to take my sponge dauber and I'm going to sponge around the edges. Kind of make it eerie looking. And it makes it stand up out a little bit more. Okay, let's close that ink pad up and get our bag over here. And so this is going to go, I think I'm going to put a little bit of glue behind the top of that, because I'm afraid it'll catch on something. Let's see if I can get a little bit of dab. Yeah. All right. And so keep it from wiggling around too. Okay, so I'm going to hold that just for a second. Okay. And this is going to go on the front here of our bag. So let me take some more liquid glue and put that down. And then I'm going to take this and go ahead and adhere it to this lower left side of that, those labels, the hippo labels, just right here. And now I'm going to work with stamping and coloring and fussy cutting out this little guy. So let's speed it up a little bit. Okay, so here I'm stamping the gnome in Memento black and taking dark Cajun Craze, dark Blackberry Bliss, and petal pink and light for his skin and coloring the little gnome. And now I'm doing his beard, and I believe that's light smoky slate. You could use either or, the light or the dark, it'd be fine. And so now I'm just going to cut out around the gnome. I'm going to cut off that jingle bell and cut all around him, and then we're going to work with him some more. Okay, so here's our little gnome ready to go, but we need to do something about his snowflake hat. So what I did is I stamped this little gnome on a scrap piece of cardstock. Here's smoky slate, it doesn't matter what color. And then I fussy cut the hat to use as a template to trace on my designer paper here, so I can do some paper piecing and put that cap on top. So let's go ahead and do that. And then he'll be a little Halloween gnome. Okay, now let's take our bag and we're going to put him right here and overlap the sentiment piece a bit. And I'm going to use some of the black Stampin' Dimensionals that come from the combo pack. You get mini Stampin' Dimensionals and the regular size in black, which is perfect for these types of projects. And then I'm just going to put it right there. And then he needed a little jazzing up here. So I'm going to take our basic rhinestone jewels and my dark Cajun Craze, because I want to tie in the color of his little cap, and I'm coloring one of those rhinestones. And then take your pick tool, pick that up, come over here, and put it down like that. So now we just need to finish this up. Takes a hole punch, and I'm using an old crocodile here, and I'm going to punch holes about a 1/2 inch down on each side of the bag. Okay, then I have a 12-inch piece of this glittered black organdy ribbon that is in the annual catalog, and so I just pull it through, go from the outside. If you like the knot on the outside, you could always switch it up a little bit, but I chose to do it this way, going from the outside in, tie a knot, pull it, and then bring it around and try to keep it where it's not twisted. Okay, and then I'm going to go in through this side again. Again, this is 12 inches long. It's about the right size. Pull that in so you have enough room to tie a knot. And you can see I'll have it all finished except for that bottom being adhered so that I can store it until time for Halloween. Okay, there's our little treat bag. I hope you'll give that a try. With this particular, I'm going to keep it in my stamp case in case I need to cut another one. So I'll have a template, but look how cute that is, and look all the goodies that would fit inside. Okay, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you again soon. Visit my website at inkandinspirations.com, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.